Welcome back, genius. Did you know you're not only a genius, but you are powerful? You have the power to be your greatest ally or your own worst enemy. In our relationships and careers, we all have goals and desires, things that we want to achieve. It might then be extremely irritating or unnerving to notice that the closer we get to our goals, we somehow, more often than any of us would like to admit, we get in our own way, in the form of self-sabotage. You are here because you've recognized this really irritating behavioral trait, and you are ready to find a solution to stop falling into the trap of self-sabotage. In this video, I'm going to share with you some things that I've done to be able to try and combat this. And if you would like to know how I've been able to try and overcome self-sabotaging behaviors in my business, subscribe and keep watching. We all do this to some degree, so don't beat yourself up about it. Be aware of it and try and do better next time. You and I both have issues that we're trying to overcome and that we fall into the trap of self-sabotaging behavior. So for the sake of dignity, you don't have to show me yours, but I'll tell you, for me, every single time I find myself falling into self-sabotaging behavior, for some reason it always has something to do with my diet or exercise. One day I'll get better, but right now is not the time. But in my business, I don't seem to have the same type of issues. The best ways that I've been able to overcome self-sabotaging behaviors in my business is two things. Number one is being self-aware, and the other one is creating patterns that make it difficult for me to fall into self-sabotaging behavior. Out there in the world, there's this thing called the happiness index. It's a measurement of how happy people are globally. Now, this measurement looks at things like life expectancy, inequality, and general physical well-being and safety for people all around the world. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because of the measurement scale. And I think that once you're aware of this, it's really going to open something up for you, the way that it opened up things for me. So on this happiness index, if you think about it from a 1 to 10, in the middle, 5, balanced, normal, right, is struggle. Now think about that. Struggling is the normal state for most people in the world. It's the baseline for measuring happiness. That means that 1 would look like exploitation or devastation, and 10 is actual happiness. Now really think about that. Let that sink into you, that your normal is a state of struggling. For everybody, for you, for me, it's struggling, worrying about something. So when you set goals for your business, you are pushing yourself away from that index. Think about any situation or any person who's in an exploitative or a devastating situation. They are fully aware that that is not normal, and they want to be able to come out of that and move closer toward the middle. Now, if your state of normal is a 5, 6, 7, 8, and you want to get to a 10, you want to push yourself so that you can feel that pure happiness, recognize that that is also going to feel uncomfortable because that is not your normal. That is not a normal state for you. So in order for you to actually combat self-sabotaging behavior, to get closer to that happiness, to that goal, you actually have to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that in and of itself will drive your mind crazy. And I really mean that you're conscious mind is fully aware of the goals that you set for yourself and the things that you want to see for yourself and for your business. But your subconscious mind has no idea. Your subconscious mind is focusing on what the normal is, the things that have happened in the past that they can logically think through will continue to happen in the future. If you've never been able to sell 6 figures for your business, logically in your subconscious mind that makes absolutely no sense. If you've never been able to create something on your own without the help of other people, and you're thinking about starting your own business, you must be crazy. Why would you think to do that? That is your subconscious mind. And that uncomfortable feeling has to become comfortable to you because you and your mind are actually working against you to reach your own goals. So when you find yourself self-sabotaging, you're really trying to regulate yourself. You're trying to get back to the normal struggling state that you find yourself in. Have you ever dated somebody and you thought, wow, this person is amazing. They're so gorgeous. They treat me so well. And in your mind you think, something must be wrong. I don't deserve this person, or they must be up to something, or there's something secretive going on that I'm not aware of. These are the kind of self-regulating thoughts that enter your mind because you're trying to get back to that struggle. So when you're working toward your happiness, be aware of that, not only in your personal life, but definitely as you're trying to grow and scale your business. So now that you're aware of that self-sabotaging behavior and your subconscious mind working against you reaching that goal, now let's talk about what you can do about it. For me, the way that I've been able to overcome self-sabotaging behaviors in my business is simply creating patterns. When you create a pattern or routine that helps you, but is very small, what you're doing is actually tricking your mind, because your mind is not aware of the huge goal that you have, and that it kind of like doesn't, the triggers don't go off to try and help and to work against it and to keep you from reaching that goal. So I'm going to give you the example that I used, something that I did last year, that had I set the goal, my mind and my habits would not be able to come together for me to reach this goal. So this was a business-related goal, and it was for me to be able to give my business card to 1,825 people. So 1,825. Now that's a very specific number, and it's for a reason. The goal that I set for myself, the pattern that I created, was giving out 5 business cards every day for 1 year. Now, if you do the math, 5 business cards every day for 1 year is 1,825. Now, if I committed to giving out that many cards, my mind would say, why would you give out that many cards? You've never tried to do that before. Why would you spend money on that? People don't use cards. You run a digital business. You should just Facebook everybody. Why do you want to do this analog? Why do you want to do it manually? These are things that my subconscious mind might have told me, but because I broke down that larger goal, and for me, that's just the number. Now, for you and your business, that may sound like a little number of cards to give out in a year, or it might sound like a huge number to give out in cards for a year. But the reality is that simply was my own personal goal, and I was able to meet it by creating the pattern of every time I left my house, I picked up 5 business cards, and I simply said I wouldn't come home with those same cards. That small pattern turned into the larger goal of giving out over 1,000 cards in a year, and it resulted in me having an increase in contacts and business and revenue for the entire year. Now, you can also do this in your business and in your life. Think about what small changes you can make every day, incrementally, that will result in a huge impact for your goals and for your things that you want to achieve. I hope this video helps you to understand why you might be self-sabotaging, and maybe giving you some ideas about some things that you can do to overcome it. What you want to focus on with self-sabotaging behavior is to simply be aware of it. Don't beat yourself up about it, but think about creative patterns, things that you can put into your day that can combat that. And you know what? When you do something repeatedly over and over again, it turns into a habit. The habit becomes into your routine, and the results of that habit also become a part of your new normal. So, mine is giving out business cards. It's a normal thing that I do all the time, and because of that, I steadily have new contacts that turn into new leads, that turn into new clients, that turn into new referrals. And I hope that whatever the goals are for your business, you can start thinking of different patterns that you can put into place so that you can be aware of your self-sabotaging behavior and hopefully be able to minimize it to a place where it's closer to your goals. So move away from that 5 and closer to that 10 every day. Of course, I said that I want to be able to give you guys something every video. So if you haven't done so, you can become a part of my YouTube Insiders, where you'll get emails from me probably once a week. Or if you're inside of Miami, Florida, I make sure that everyone's aware of the different in-person appearances that I have. Now, if you happen to be in South Florida or you're liking what you're seeing in my videos, reach out to me, because I do take on one-on-one clients to help them to be able to progress in their business and to be able to get more out of what it is that they're doing. My specialty really is putting systems in place so that you can reach your goals. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you have some other behaviors that you've been able to put into action to combat self-sabotaging behavior, please put it in the comments, because I could definitely use it. If you can find a way to help me to get more on top of my fitness and my eating and nutrition, I would love to hear it. I definitely put a lot of work into it, and it's a struggle. I'm definitely at a 5. So, again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this interesting, useful, helpful in some way. And share it, like it, comment, and find me on social media, because I would love to hear other video ideas, and I will put it into action for all of us. All right, so go forth and flourish. Bye.